Everybody. Welcome to the 2025 Annual Members Meeting. My name is Jalal Mapar. I'm the President of Reston Association Board of Directors for the 2024-2025 session. And I hereby call the 2025 Annual Meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening and thank you for joining us. I see some familiar faces and some of the people that I know, and several of you who don't even know who I am, but be that as it may. You get to know me today. Glad to see so many faces here, but before we start, we have some special guests. We've got Supervisor Walter Alcorn, and we've got State Senator Absolutely. Hey, wait until you hear the next one. We've got a very big supporter of Reston, our senator from our district, State Senator Jennifer Boysko. I will say this, we are especially honored to have them here because I don't know how much energy you guys have, the events that you attend. I saw you on Saturday and you've got another couple of things to go through. So I'm not going to waste any time. They've got commitments to be other places, but they've really honored us to be here and spend a few minutes with us. So Jennifer, if you don't mind, let me start. I know Walter has got this SSPA meeting to go to. Walter, could you just come and if you have to say a few words, please?
No, thank you very much, Mac. It's great to be here. I'm not going to speak long. But thank you, everybody who came tonight, took the time. Just being here signifies that you care about our community, and I really appreciate that. I never fail to not value all the participation that we have in Reston and all the interest we have in Reston's environment, in Reston's future, and frankly, it's part of Reston's DNA. So thank you for being here, for keeping that going. And also thank you for all the things that we work on together at the county level and the Reston Association. We've been in many meetings together along with Mac. There's so many things that need to be coordinated for the community's interest. And I so much appreciate all the things that we are doing and continue to focus on together. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Walter, thank you for being here. Yeah. Guess what, Jennifer? Please.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Joel. Oh, okay. I'm a lot shorter than I am a lot shorter than the gentlemen are, so I hope you can hear me. I'm Jennifer Boysko. I am your state senator, and it is good to be here with you tonight. I represent the 38th district, which was newly created in the last redistricting. So the 38th district is Reston, it is Herndon, it is McLean, Great Falls, Wolf Trap, some of the unincorporated pieces of Vienna, and a very small unincorporated piece of Falls Church. So it's all of northern Fairfax County. And I have lived in the region since 1996. My daughters were actually counselors with Reston Association during their summer school time in college. So Reston has been a piece of our life for, more than almost 30 years at this point. One of the things that Walter was talking about is how well community working with local government. Well, community working with local government, working with the state government, we got a big win this year. And I am talking about the casino stopping it for the year. And that doesn't happen by chance. That happened with a coordinated, thoughtful plan where people from all over northern Fairfax County work together, communicating your concerns to me and to my colleagues, and then, making sure that there was no air between me and you and our interests. And so you can count on me to continue to fight for the interests of our community. I will continue to do that and to use my position in the General Assembly to make sure that I am continuously advocating for what's best for us here in our home community. So I want to thank Jalal and Mac and everybody on the board, all of our anti-casino advocates who are, real heroes here. But we are only here because we are here to represent you. You all put me in this position. You all helped me get elected. I am here because I am your advocate, and I will continue to be so. And so I have an office in the town of Herndon, and it's co-located with the police station. We are always, meeting with people in the off year to look at legislation, to help with casework. If you all have concerns, please reach out to me and my staff. But I thank you all for your advocacy, for your participation, and we are better when we are together. So thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you to Walter and Jennifer for being here. Now on to our business here. So we are here this evening in accordance with Reston Association bylaws, Article 3, Section 3.1. And if you haven't read that, please do, because we're going to quiz you at the end of this meeting here tonight. The annual meeting of members shall be held on the second Tuesday in April or such other date in April, and at such place, this is gobbledygook stuff. Come on, guys. Please read it. The purpose of the members' meeting, the purposes are, you're going to hear reports on the state of the association. Bear with me, I have to read this. I've been told I have to read this. Receive and hear results of the election of directors. This is important. And receive comments from members, even more important. So we've got the agenda, I believe, we'll show it to you as well. We're going to start on the agenda with the approval of the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting. This is from last year. This is how we do that. We get the annual meeting minutes and we ask you to approve those. I have some comments about some of the activities, accomplishments from that we've got from the board, committees, and RA staff for the past year. Our CEO, Mr. Cummins, will get up here and share his thoughts on RA's 2025 focus, some of the priorities, and we'll open the floor for member comments. We'll recognize our valued volunteers. We care about them. They're going to receive some awards. And then we have our elections committee representatives. I believe Richard Chu is here, but I believe Katie Boswell will tell us about the election results and announce them tonight here. So if you bear with me, I just have a few comments to share with you about my experience and what the board has done in the past year. So as I stand before you today, kind of reflecting on last year for Reston Association, I am really pleased and proud of serving as a board member, as a community member, as a community volunteer. And last year, when I first took on this job, I became the president of the board last April. I set some clear goals for myself, just a couple. My number one priority for me was to do what's right for Reston. So everything that I wanted to do was think about Reston first. The other thing that I thought about doing was that if I do this right, do no harm. Make sure that I represent the priorities of the community, members, and so on. One of the most important aspects of this job, of course, as a board member, for all of us, is listening. And I am really happy to share with you that I have talked to many members, I have listened to them, and I think it's important for all of us to listen and have listening sessions and take advantage of your priorities. share your perspective, because those are the guiding lights for us. Looking at where we stand today, I am proud to say that RA, Reston Association, is in good place. I would say our foundation is solid, our outlook is bright, and thank you to the RA staff members. We don't say this enough. They are the engine for this association. And we need to say thank you to them all the time. So please give them a big hand. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our volunteers who work at our committees and working groups. They also spend their time, long hours, all the committees that we do, whether it's PRAC, whether it's legal committee, this, that, and so on. We really owe them a big thank you. So let's give them a big hand as well. Just a few other comments that I wanted to highlight for you guys. You heard Jennifer Boysko, our state senator, talk about casino. You know, I've got notes in here to read to you about what we've done, what we haven't done. Let me just summarize it and speak from my heart here. We followed up on our advocacy for no casino through the board and our activities, and we were successful. There was a bill, it didn't make it, and we did our part, and we worked with others, everybody else in the community, and we made sure the ultimate goal was to defeat that. So we did our part, and it's not there. But it's coming back. It's not dead. So we're going to do everything we can with Walter, with Jennifer, with Delegate Karen Keyes-Gamarra, and everybody else to make sure that we follow up, be vigilant, and make sure that we are on top of this. One of the other activities that we did last year was we had a sort of a new budget process in place, and we had a record number of budget inputs from our members. We had about 230 plus suggestions. And though the budget process was painful in terms of going through that, we managed to balance the priorities of the members, the fiscal responsibilities that we have, all the comments about not raising the dues and keeping them at a reasonable level and so on. But we managed to do that. It's not an easy job to do. It's hard. But at the end of the day, when you look at the dues that we came up with, they're keeping up with inflation. So I'm proud to say that we did everything we could to optimize, balance, prioritize these things together. Couple of things I wanted to mention. If you notice, we made it easier for the members to use the facilities, the pools. You recall we reopened 2 new pools, Lake Thoreau and Shadowwood. You now get your passes. It's included as part of the dues. We also received a lot of comments from the members to extend the number of hours, the pool hours. And we managed to do that as well. And we're going to do that again. And I'm sure Mr. Mac will talk about that as well. We're going to do that again for 2025 and going forward. One of the things that I wanted to echo Walter's comments. Last year, one of my things was to build on partnerships. And we hold monthly meetings. We have held monthly meetings with Supervisor Alcorn to share our priorities, our concerns, and so on with Walter, and at the same time get an idea what's going on at the county level regarding anything, development, golf course, this, that, and so on. So that relationship is very strong right now, and hopefully we'll maintain that and go forward on that. So as we get close to today is the annual meeting, and my term as the president, I believe, finishes, help me out here, tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow. So I am honored to have served as the president at Reston Association, navigating the dynamics, the board meetings. I know, long hours, really long hours. We've had to deal with that. But before I get down to my final comment, we have two outgoing board members, Laurie Dodd and Trevor Grywatch, who's not here because he's sick. I want to recognize them for the service that they've given the community, Reston Association, the board. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. Please. Laurie is from North Point, and Trevor is at large. The other person that I want to mention is, stand up. You got to stand up. This guy is a rock. All of you know Bob. He served as a board member. Last year, I tapped him to serve as a non-director, as a member for treasurer. And thank you very much for all the hours, all the time, everything that you've put into this. I really appreciate it myself. So, and the community, please give him a big hand. I am going to emphasize one more time the RA staff. We owe them a big thank you for all the work that they do, whether it's central facilities, whether the people who sit up front here, with everybody, all the way up to our SLT, the senior leadership team. The organization is in good shape. I think we're looking to do even better next year. To me, the RA staff is the engine that runs the association. So thank you very much again for everything that you're doing. I know, I'm finishing. Just the last line is, listen, I started by thinking that do what's right for Reston and do no harm. So let me conclude by saying that I believe in my heart that I did everything I could to do right for Reston. And the most important part of this is that I have done no harm. So we're in good shape. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we have to approve the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting. And at this point, I need a motion. Oh, you guys love this Robert's Rules stuff, right? I need a motion to approve the minutes of the 2024 annual meeting from the floor, from the board. I so move. Fantastic. It's been seconded. It's good. I have to present it to the floor as well, and all those in favor of approving the minutes, please, just by voting. Aye. Please, please. Great. I see we have quorum in here, Brittany, so I declare the meeting minutes have been approved. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I believe on the agenda we are ready for member comments. Yes, thank you. We are ready for member comments. I have to give you some, I have to read something to you. So before we open the floor to member comments, I'd like to remind everybody that the guidelines we will use for tonight's meeting, priority will be first given to those members who pre-registered to speak prior to the annual meeting. If you are pre-registered, there's a mic in here. Please line up behind the mic so that we can recognize you. And as you start your talk, each member will have 3 minutes. If you are representing an association or a homeowners association or cluster, you will get 5 minutes. Comments are limited and timed, 3 minutes and 5 minutes. So you're gonna hear an alarm. I think Brittany, you're gonna help me with that. For those participating via Zoom, we will open it up, and please, just before we get there, so we start with the people who pre-registered to talk, then we'll open it, after we're done with that, we'll open it to the floor, those who have not pre-registered to, again, line up behind the mic and talk. And those participating via Zoom, We will unmute your microphone when it's your turn if you are pre-registered and if you're not pre-registered. We ask members to provide only comments once this evening, just to ensure that everybody gets a chance to speak. Finally, and this is very important, please, please, please be respectful with your comments, and I appreciate that. So we are ready for member comments. Pleased to have you here.
Jalal. My name
Please.
is Lynn Molson, and I serve as president of Reston Citizens Association. At the last board meeting on March the 27th, our director, Gary Maupin, alerted the board that Reston Citizens Association had adopted a resolution recognizing the Reston Association senior leadership team. And I will not go through all of the whereases, but I do want to make sure that everyone here understands that the Reston Association senior leadership team of Matt Cummins, Peter Lusk, and Ed Vroom, along with their directors and staff, have demonstrated an ongoing commitment to fostering strong relationships with the entire Reston community. And the senior leadership team has become a very influential and positive presence in Reston, demonstrated by the dedication to the well-being and vibrancy of our community. And the senior leadership team has proactively worked to master Reston's planning principles and the significance of preserving open spaces, including the two 18-hole golf courses, which are integral to the community's character in this biophilic community. And a recent polling of the Reston community confirmed that the senior leadership team is seen as being responsive, supportive, creative, and very popular with members. Now, therefore, in our resolution, we resolve that the Reston Citizens Association expresses its sincere appreciation to the senior leadership team of the Reston Association and their dedication, proactive engagement, and commitment to enhancing the quality of life in Reston, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution is being presented to the senior leadership team as a token of our gratitude and recognition of their efforts. And I would like to ask Matt Cummins, on behalf of the senior leadership team, to come up and receive this award from Reston Citizens Association. Thank you very much, and I'm under 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Any other pre-registered speakers?
That's all we have for pre-registered
Okay,
speakers.
so let's open the floor up for, please.
May I be the first member speaker tonight?
Yes.
I mean, other than our pre-registered,
Yes.
pre-planning
Please.
members. So my name's Laurie Dodd, and as you all know, I'm ending my 3 years on the board of directors representing the North Point District. And when I started out here on the board, one of the first things I ever did was get involved in one of the interviews of Matt Cummins, our at the time new CEO, and deciding that he was the right person to lead the organization. And I've got to say that with 3 years of working with Mac and the distinguished senior leadership team he has pulled together, not only those who were named earlier, but also others like Cam Adams and Linda Kowalski and Tony Champ and Mike Reynolds and Peter Lusk, and and along with an outstanding staff. I am proud to say that I think that as I leave the board, the Reston Association as an organization that is led by and on behalf of members is stronger than I recall it ever being. And I see that in our increased pool usership as we made it so you didn't have to pay for your pass cards. I see it in the participation in budget suggestions. I see it in the high attendance at annual meetings and at other events that are held throughout the community. I see it at as we enjoy the Winterfest that has been such a new introduction to the community. So I'm delighted to have served. I am lucky that just last week we had a social gathering of board members. I wish we'd done that more in my 3 years. I wish we'd had maybe a board retreat and more board trainings, because serving on the board is an important role that we need more members to stand up for. And the more that we can know one another and foster our collaborative spirit, then the more we can have meetings that are productive and efficient and that will encourage other folks to run when a seat opens up. So I'm hoping for great things as we move forward. I have loved the people on the board that I have served with. I'm proud to be part of Reston Association, and I just wanted to thank you all for giving me my term in office. I plan to stay engaged, possibly with the Elections Committee or other committees as needed. So thank you all.
Thank you. You know the rule. Please state your name and
Please
address.
state your name and address for the record.
Gar Young, 11925 Red Tree Way in Reston, Virginia.
Yep.
Pleased to meet you and pleased to be here. I'll have a brief comment. I'm curious about the status of the intersection that kind of is, I guess, an eastern point to Reston Association off of Lawyers Road and Twins Branch Road. It's been remarked by a dear friend of mine in the area, and I've experienced it myself, that intersection is kind of dangerous because you only have a stop sign, at Twins Branch, and cars come whipping around the curve, which is kind of blind on the left side. So I was just curious if there's been any activity about maybe making that safer, perhaps making it a three-way intersection, or coming up with some other creative way to keep the traffic flowing safely.
Thank you. We'll obviously look into that. And Mr. Cummins? Yep. We'll look into that, of course. Thank you. Any other speakers, comments? Please.
Just briefly, I hadn't intended to do this, but
Please come to the microphone, John.
So the people at home can hear you.
Yes.
what have they done to deserve that?
I know. So, John, I know who you are, but you know the drill. State your name and address.
John Lovas. I live at 11437 Washington Plaza in Lake Ann. And I guess my claim to fame was more than anything running a farmer's market here for 26 years.
Yeah.
And thank you. My wife is now sort of the leader of the farmer's market, so its management has improved already. That was a prepared remark that I got elsewhere. I just want to say a word about this gentleman, the CEO. I served on this board, and I've seen a lot of CEOs in the time I've been around RA, and I have never seen one this good. He's really outstanding. The farmer's market and Matt came together. When he approached us there about 3 years ago, I think it was, he was concerned about the visibility of the Reston Association. And he asked if he might have a place there in the market. We collaborated with our crafts market. We found a place where RA has been ever since. It has been a place for people to come and find out about RA, get some real human contact with them, get a lot of very useful information. And one of these days, I understand, we'll even be able to buy some RA services there when we get the accounting straightened out. But I say this because it was his idea, his initiative, but it has been tremendously popular, and there's been a real reception on the part of the people in the community, and it's thanks to this gentleman for making it happen. That's all I want to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please. Gary, you know the drill. State your name and yeah.
I already did our thing.
Yeah.
So I'm Gary Maupin. I live at the Harrison at 1300 Jonathan Way, Reston. A quick comment. She's my boss because I'm on the board of the Reston Association, but there's been no active person that's made more of a difference to defeating the casino this year and the last year than she has, Lynn. So I just have to say that. And I also have to say for Jennifer Bosco that she got penalized for representing us, her constituents in Northern Virginia, including Reston, and had to give up positions. And maybe we can do something for her by some resolution of RA, something like that.
We've already done a letter. Yeah, anyway, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I also want to make sure everybody understands that the RA board has not been sitting quietly and not doing anything to fight the casino. We have been very active, and we decided to concentrate on the ultimate goal to do something to defeat that. And we were successful in doing that. So, Brittany, do we have any comments on Zoom? Oh, please state your name and address, please.
I'm Tricia Wardino. I live at 2060 Royal Fern Court in Reston. I just wanted to share two things with everybody. Was anybody at the development meeting last night where they talked about developing Reston golf course? And okay, so I just wanted, for those of you who weren't aware, the developer of the Reston golf course said that they were planning to go ahead even if Supervisor Alcorn opposed it, which of course he has for a number of years. So we should be concerned about that, and do those of us who agree that we don't want to develop. And the second thing I wanted to share, am I too loud here?
No, it's fine.
Okay, is that I just wanted to let you know, if you're a senior in Reston, or you know a senior in Reston, like me, who would like to live in place or age in place, who's heard of Reston for a Lifetime? Okay. For those of you who do, that's wonderful. For those of you who don't, just look them up online, and they have information about how to help you live in place, or if you know a senior. And I have some information too, and thank you for the opportunity to address everybody here.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tammy Petrine, 2503 Foxcroft Way, Reston. I know this guy over here.
Yeah.
We've been married for 57 years.
Oh, wow. Bob, you going to stand up again?
So, yeah, he deserves to stand up again
of
for
course
that. But what I do want to share is that obviously we've been in Reston a long time, highly involved, and I want to echo everyone else's comments. Thank you to the board who puts in Uber hours. I know because this person has read all of the packets. You all deserve a coup de grace for doing that. And particularly echo the sentiment that's overriding in this audience, that we have one of the finest staffs, if not the finest staff, of any HOA in the country. So before I go into any more, I want to thank an unsung hero, Brittany Copeland.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I have no clue how any sentient human can keep up with the deities of a meeting and get it right. So she deserves special honors. Thank you, Brittany. To wrap up, thank you to Mac and his senior leadership team, but every single Reston employee, the people who cut the trees, are responsive, take the stuff off. This is invisible work that gets done because the board and the staff work together to coordinate this. And I am happy to pay our dues because I can't think of any organization that I get more bang for the buck than I do from Reston Association. So thank you, Mac and your team. I pray for shorter meetings for the board going forward. I pray deeply for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. Before I let somebody else speak, I just want to make sure that everybody recognizes the board members who are here, Reston Association Board of Directors. Please, they're sitting on the front seat here, starting with Jennifer Juszczak, Travis Johnson, Jennifer is from South Lakes District, and Travis is from Hunters Woods. Erwin Flashman from Lake Ann. John Farrell is not here. He's got other commitments, so he would be sitting there. Laurie Dodd, of course, from North Point. And I know, just hold on. You're going to go last, by the way. Trevor Grywatch, he's not here. He was planning to be here, but his kid got sick and he's under the weather, so he didn't want to come and basically share his sickness with everybody else. Yeah, it was very kind of him to do that. Yeah, he gave me. And last but not least, I've got two. Yeah. See, this is how our board meetings run long, because we get people saying, well, we got two other board members who are, one is here, one is not here. Margaret Perry, Apartments Representative. And last but not least, who's hiding in that corner, Izzy Santa, who also served as our secretary. So that's the entire board, and I just want to pick up on what you said. Yes, our meetings all run long. Think of it this way, we really care about Reston, and sometimes we get into heated discussions. It's out of caring, so take it for what it's worth, from somebody who's been there over years, spending long hours and so on. And I'm proud of doing that, by the way. I'm proud of helping the community, serving in that role. Brittany, do we have any comments, speakers on the Zoom? Nope. Great. Yes. Oh, you had to do that, right? Just wait until, go ahead. No, it's just.
Hi, sir. My name is Dino Sagos. I'm living here in Reston over than 25 years. I have a big yard. It's wild right now. But the issue that we have with the three people, I spent 2.5 years and I cut my trees. I have very tall trees, $8,000. And here's the latest thing that I have on the tree that I cut, $2,000, $2,700. Meanwhile, that I tried the three people to come in to remove there is a big tree behind my house. It was a tree longer than this one, first, as a part of the middle of the room to this tree. And I asked them to remove it. They tried last year, but Mr. McNamara, he said he's going to do it, and they changed their mind. I told them, look, I'm going to remove myself. Oh, they said to me, no, you cannot remove this. I said to them that I came to hire some people, and it's going to cost me about $700. He said that you cannot do this. Please, I need your help.
Okay.
What is your address? My address is 12202 Hounds Lane. I tried more than 7 years to do this. At the beginning of the tree, they said to me they can't mean that they remove it. They have not removed it again. I have been less than a month in the office of Mr. McNamara. I asked him, please do this. And they say, well, cannot do this. Why? Because you are going to disturb the environment. You cannot disturb the environment. I cut a big tree less than a year ago, and I stopped the tree stub, and it's right now. He has not cut all the trees that they cut. They don't cut the stubs, and they lift the trees down the ground. This is not a restaurant that I like to live.
Okay, thank you. Well, obviously, we'll give it staff and find out what the issue is and see what we can do.
I'm sorry.
Please.
As always, when you start listing people to thank, you then think of all the people you have left out. And we do have a remarkable staff, far deeper than the ones who've already been named. So I wanted to also call out Kara O'Donnell and Zane from our IT department. And I'm sure I'm still missing others, but we do have extraordinary people up and down at Reston Association. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
Let me also recognize the West Wing, Cam Adams, Laura Kowalski. And the guy who keeps us straight with the legal matters, Tony Champ. We've got a lot of staff. We really appreciate everything that we do. If I miss anybody, it's not because you've forgotten. If I start to recite names, we'll have another one of those long meetings that everybody complains about. So thank you very much. I think we're done with the member comments. And so let us turn our attention to the state of the association. And at this point, if you don't know this guy, he's our CEO, by the way. His name is Matt Cummins. Matt.
All right, good evening, everybody. It's really an honor to be here and talk about the state of the association tonight. I think you've heard an awful lot about who we are, what we represent, the ethos, if you will, of Reston. I'm going to spend some time talking about the successes of the last year and where we're headed going into the future. It's almost hard for me to imagine this is my third annual meeting, but only my second one live. Shout out to our comms department. We're packing the house again. And I think that really speaks to who we are. When I look out at the room and I see so many people that care so much about Reston that you all want to come down and talk about that a little bit and hear about where we're headed as a community. When I think about Bob Simon's vision and all the things that we talk about doing throughout the year, it's really at its core about community building. Building community through getting to know each other, building community through physical design, environmental stewardship, programming, different departments that provide different kinds of services that frankly some HOAs around the country don't do, but are part of our core value system here. So when we get into this a little bit tonight, I want everybody to think about Reston is special, and that's okay. It's okay that we're special, and it's okay that we do these things because our community continues to tell us that we like who we are, we like our core value system, and we like where we're headed. When we talk about where we're going, I think of it as sort of a three-pronged effort. The board in its policy making and thinking about the major issues facing the community and how we talk through setting those policies, the staff in operationalizing those policy objectives and figuring out how to make the wheels touch the ground on a day-to-day basis. And then I look out and think about, we could never do this. And I appreciate all the comments about the staff. We have 101 FTEs. We have hundreds and thousands of hours of volunteer time that make all of the things you're going to see in the video and that we talk about actually happen. So it's really the totality of that community building that allows us to be who we are. I want to start with a video that speaks to the highlights of the past year and supplement that with a few comments after. So as I was putting together some remarks tonight, you saw a lot of raw statistics in there. I want to speak to what it means and what it all adds up to through the lens of this community building concept. So over the course of last year, we set records, both qualitatively and quantitatively. Each department spent a lot of time thinking about the services that they provide, and we started talking with the board and amongst ourselves at the senior leadership team level about how to make the sum add up to more than the whole of its parts, which is an ethos that I like to think about a lot. So it's not just about getting more people into pools. It's about what does that mean for the community and how is the community interacting with each other, and what does that mean for Reston going forward. To give everybody a sense of the rec passes alone, in the first year that we were able to balance the budget and add rec passes into the base assessment, we saw a 50% increase in number of people that signed up for a recreation pass. Yay. And we expect that to continue going into the future. So anybody that hasn't signed up yet, please tell all your neighbors and make sure you get set up. Couple of highlights in the recreation department. You saw a few photos there of a couple of the pools. The reopening of the Shadowwood pool and the Lake Thoreau pool to bring our full complement of pools to 15 was nothing short of an enormous thing over the course of the past year. So to restaff after several years of having 2 pools closed and then to see record attendance at those pools was a unique challenge for the community. You saw a bunch of photos there of cutting ribbons, the board members and myself. I just want to draw attention to the fact that those grand opening pool parties were incredibly well received by the community, and the community is really excited about having them reopen. The other thing about the pools, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I want to draw attention to the Shadowwood splash pad. This was a pool that at one point was shown on a pool closure list. We saw record numbers of attendance. There was one point in time where we actually had to stop people at the door because we hit the maximum capacity. But more interesting than that, the splash pad is a very low maintenance improvement. We don't have to staff it, is able to stay open later and open earlier, extending the season for kids to be able to play. So please get out and see that going next year. This year was a particularly momentous year for us. So we hit our 60th anniversary as a community, but in the recreation department, we hit our 50th anniversary for camps. And one of the things that I observed, and we spent quite a bit of time talking about, we had an event for former camp counselors, and the number of people that came back that grew up here, they went to Reston camps, and then it meant so much to them they wanted to come back and be camp counselors and speak to what that community building part of it was for them in their lives. And now they're older, they're married, they have kids, and they want their kids to have that same experience. I think speaks to that community building ethos that we were talking about earlier. Now, it also posed another challenge, so special kudos to Laura Kowalski and Catherine and everybody involved in that, because we had record numbers of people in camps this year as well. Yeah. I want to speak to a few of the events, and we did a couple of things this year that were different, and so anyone that has suggestions, I'm always interested in different. Sometimes we can't do them all, but I really am excited about some of the stuff that have come as suggestions we've been able to do. Because it was the 60th anniversary, we had a big anniversary party out at Lake Newport Pool. We had about 600 people there, I believe was the final tally. But what I want to mention to everybody is that was a day that it rained. And when you can get 600 Restonians to go to a pool party in the rain and eat hot dogs under the umbrella, I think you get a pretty good sense of how important it is to bring everybody together. Of course, the big event to highlight was the Winterfest. And the Winterfest in year one was about 4,000 people. You saw on the screen that it went over 9,000 this year. I think the word is out. I told Laura Kowalski before the meeting that I'd drop a new number, but I'm not going to do that because she'll have a heart attack, on me. But it is an amazing opportunity to get everybody together and watching. We gave away s'mores this year for those of you that didn't see that part, and watching the kids be able to roast marshmallows and just be part of it, with all the lights and everything. And remember, too, that on the first night, we had single-digit wind chills. So to get to 9,000 where one of the days was so cold, even the Grinch was cold, out there, is quite an accomplishment. I think what I want to focus on is one particular part of that event, and I mentioned this last year, but I'll probably mention it each year because I just think it's one of the best things that we have thought about and put together. How many of you, just by show of hands, walked through the Enchanted Forest that was out there? Some of you, okay. The reason I want to highlight this is, to me, this is Reston, at its finest. So the idea came out, well, what if we did this forest? And they, of course, look like Christmas trees, but they're holiday trees. And we developed a business model and worked with a number of different partners. And I want to highlight that. So Friends of Reston, I saw Kathleen Driscoll, our chair of our 501c3. The 501c3 bought the Christmas trees and sponsored the event. They give them to the Reston Association. We turn around and sell them to private companies who use it as a sponsorship sort of thing. They come and decorate them. Then after the event, we give the trees to families in need that otherwise couldn't afford them, including all the decorations. Wow. So we got to about 50 trees last year. I'm going to drop this. We got to get to at least 75 or 80. Please tell all of your friends. I think it's one of the best things that we do. And honestly, we had a competition this year, and I think if we just promote that, a lot of people want to do this, with the community. So please be thinking about that for next year and put it on the calendar. Everyone has talked about the advocacy efforts. I think the piece that I want to hit on the advocacy is, obviously the casino was the biggest issue for us this particular year, but advocacy in Reston, as you all know, is about speaking on behalf of the community. And when you're speaking on the behalf of the community, we're doing a lot of other things as well. We've been very active in land use. We've been very active, as President Mapar mentioned, with Supervisor Alcorn, talking about a bunch of different issues, trying to make things better, for our community. So if you go to our strategic plan, which was mentioned earlier, you will see a pillar of advocacy. And that is something that we intend to continue going forward. And yes, I saw a lot of you at the golf course meeting last night, which was even more packed, than this particular meeting. But look for more of that to come in the future. I want to highlight a little bit of anticipated, new things that we talked about doing. Now, one of the things that was out there in the community, and we heard from you all loud and clear, was that we were in desperate need of a new website. And we needed to figure out a way to communicate better with people. And one of the ethoses that we are trying is to go to people. So I appreciate Mr. Levis' comment. That was one idea, but there's a lot of other things that are going on. If you have not been to our new website, please do so. We're, of course, still building out some content, but we've gotten great feedback that is light years better than the previous website was. One particular thing I want to highlight is we've heard from a number of people that they would like more personalized alerts. So I live near X pool. I live near X facility. We have the ability now for you to get automatic alerts if something happens and it's closed that particular day. Let's say we have a problem. We just need you to go to the website and tell us what you want to know about. So when you go to the homepage, there's a button. You click on it. You say, I want to know about Lake Newport Pool. I want to know about Ridge Heights. All these things will immediately come to you should there be a maintenance problem or something. So please do that. I would be remiss if I didn't spend some time, for sure, talking about Covenants Department. Now, Covenants is a group that, not everybody loves seeing every single day, but they are one of the unsung heroes groups. It is their job to make sure that the quality of life in Reston continues to be maintained. One of the things that CAM has done, and I think the community is really responding to, this idea of being proactive and our communication strategy with clusters and with cluster leadership. We have just finally completed a roster of all the cluster leadership so that the cluster leadership, should they want to know their other cluster leaderships and understand how they do things, we can now connect people with them. We are continuing to put out Cluster Connect. But the thing I wanted to highlight in this year's accomplishments, we did something that I think a lot of groups don't do. So, of course, we did all the DRB applications and those things. And that, I don't mean of course, because those are all, very difficult to get through and work on. We did a Drainage 101 open house here in the middle of the summertime. And when that first, so John's laughing, when that first came up, we were thinking, what? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm with you, Cam. Drainage sounds, to the HOA people. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. And I was thinking, how many people are we going to get for this, right? And we packed the house. It was almost standing room only. And the feedback that we got back is it was super beneficial because the clusters, they're having issues because we're an older community, so these things are starting to fail and the detention ponds aren't working the way they are, and the clusters learned proactively what they could do and different technologies to be more eco-friendly. So I wanted to focus on that, not just the DRB applications, because I think it's an example of the innovation the organization is trying to do to bring information to the people that live here. So two other groups and things that we have done. This is our first full year of having an environmental department. And that's a big deal for us. Our ethos around environmental stewardship and sustainability is something that the board was talking about before I got here, and we funded a position which is the Director of Environmental Work. And so we've moved environmental programming and then a lot of work around maintenance, streams, lakes, and so forth. We've done a lot of new things in that area, including partnerships and collaborations and working through getting grants. We have also determined and worked on how we can spend our stream wetland mitigation money. So we have some tax credits and things that we can use, which helps to offset the cost of the assessment in those years. What I'd also like to focus on, though, is the Nature House and the programming that we do down there. And I ask a lot of people, who has been to the Nature House? Okay, good. Actually, more than when I ask that question typically. I like to focus on that because I think it is really an unheralded part of South Reston that I want to encourage everyone to spend time at. It's an absolutely fantastic facility. Please get over there when we do special events and even just on a regular day, walk around. Halloween. Yep, Halloween, there we go. There was some mention of the Central Services team. It takes a lot of effort to maintain 1,300 acres of open space and 55 miles of trails. Every time we have a footbridge that suddenly fails, now we have a trail that can't be connected. And the team that does that are another group of unsung heroes, around Reston. I encourage everybody, if you're out on a trail or you live near, the open space, you'll see our trucks out there. Please just say hello to the folks. They're out every single day. And every time there's a tree that looks like it's going to drop on someone's house, which happens, Mike McNamara and the team are out there almost instantaneously. So if you didn't know, you can call directly to the CSF line or on the website, and we will get out to handle, any maintenance issues that you see out there. So I could actually speak all night, and I'm sure the SLT knows that. I'm thinking about as we look forward to the future, 2024 really was a year of incredible achievements. It was a year where I think we turned the corner on a lot of things. In no small measure, adopting a strategic plan on behalf of the community for 3 years and the board setting that level of thought into what its priorities should be and where we want to take the community is a big deal. So we're finishing year 1 of that document and moving into years 2 and 3. And those types of things that I was mentioning are going to continue forward in the various areas. So we are still continuing to work on different communication improvements, building on success in all the programming and services that I was describing, and thinking about new opportunities just in general to continue to create community and make Reston the place that everybody wants it to be. So what I want to do is just finish by thanking everyone for their support. I think that the fact that this community continues to love Reston in the way that it does is the reason that everybody at Reston Association comes in to do their job every single day. And on behalf of the 101 employees, I think I can say to all of you, they really do love coming in every single day and doing their job on your behalf. So we're going to get on to some fun parts of the program. We have some people that we want to recognize. This is a year that we hit a bunch of milestones, so we have a couple more than we have in the last couple of years, but these are all incredible individuals that have given an enormous amount to the community. So we're going to bring up Ha Brock, our volunteer coordinator. She will handle all this, and President Mapar and I will take some pictures.
Hi. Good evening, members, volunteers, and board of directors. As many of you know, volunteering and community service are part of Reston's, can you hear me, core values. And each year, hundreds of volunteers support RA's mission by getting involved. Volunteer Reston values the dedication and hard work of our volunteers. As we reflect on our volunteer year, we are grateful for the countless ways volunteers have supported our community, either by serving on the RA Board of Directors, one of many advisory committees and work groups, helping with the community events and programs, or participating in environmental projects. Volunteers are truly the backbone of Reston. This year marked another exceptional year of volunteerism. Our volunteers graciously donated their time, talents, and resources to enhance our programs, services, and natural areas. We value our volunteer feedback, learn from their perspective, and consider ourselves fortunate to work with such a dedicated group of community citizens of all ages. Volunteers assisted with our natural area enhancement projects, nature center community events, and much more. In the past year, we've worked with more than 950 volunteers who put in a total of 3,777 hours of volunteer work. Now, that's not including the board of directors and committees hours. Volunteer Reston hosted several corporate service projects and continues to support Reston Community Organization with their volunteer needs. Thank you to all the volunteers for their time, energy, and commitment in making Reston a wonderful place to live, work, play, and get involved. Our programs are stronger and continue to grow because of your dedication. I also want to highlight that April is Earth Month and Volunteer Month. Throughout the month, volunteers and corporate groups will be out in Reston cleaning up litter and working alongside our staff on a variety of important projects. Please, if you see volunteers are out there, please be sure to thank them for their efforts and dedication. And to all the volunteers in here with us tonight, thank you for all you do. We really appreciate it. Okay. So without further delay, let's recognize this year's Volunteer Reston recipients. For all the recipients, please come up when I call you for your award. First, I'm very proud to announce this year's Reston Association Volunteer of the Year, Glenn Simonelli. Glenn and his wife, Michelle, reached out to us in November of 2023. Eager to get involved, since then, Glenn has become one of RA's most reliable, dedicated volunteers, exemplifying what it means to be a true community-minded citizen. Over the past year, Glenn has generously donated countless hours to enhancing our natural areas and enriching our programs and events. His love for the outdoors is evident, whether he's pulling invasives at Habitat Heroes, lining the trails at the Nature Center, assisting with canoes at Spring Festival, or monitoring the health of Reston Stream. You'll often see him lending a hand on weekends. Beyond his hands-on efforts, Glenn embodied the spirit of community. You may have seen him at the Halloween House Trick-or-Treat Trail as Professor Herb, spreading holiday cheer at Santa's Village at Winterfest, engaging families in the Kids Activities tent at the Multicultural Festival, or volunteering at the Reston Town Center Holiday Parade. His enthusiasm, kindness, and willingness to go above and beyond inspired both fellow volunteers and staff. In addition to his work with RA, Glenn and his wife provide full-time childcare for their grandson. He became a member of the longstanding Good Neighbors Woodworking Group at the Hunters Woods Community Center, where he contributes to crafting and donating wooden toys for children. Glenn has also stepped in to repair RA's blue boxes when needed. Additionally, he and his wife, Michelle, generously volunteer as welcome desk attendants at the Walker Nature Center. I can go on and on. We are honored to recognize Glenn as the 2024 Volunteer of the Year and grateful for the passion, dedication, and positive impact he brings to RA and our community. Congratulations, Glenn. All right, next up, Doug Britt, has demonstrated exceptional dedication and leadership in environmental conservation, earning him the title Environmental Stewardship Volunteer of the Year. His unwavering commitment to protecting and restoring Reston's natural spaces has made a lasting impact on both the environment and the community. Since moving to Reston in 1975 from Philadelphia, Doug has been a steadfast advocate for environmental stewardship. To better serve the community, he became a certified Virginia Master Naturalist, applying his expertise to help the Environmental Advisory Committee, the EAC. Doug has been a dedicated member of the Reston Association EAC for over 9 years, serving 3 terms and becoming one of its longest-standing members. His contributions have been instrumental in shaping local environmental policies, particularly through his key role in the development of the Reston Annual State of the Environmental Report, RASER. Since its inception in 2016, Doug has provided coordination, quality control, and vision, ensuring that RASER serves as a guiding document for the management of Reston's land and environmental policies. Beyond his leadership, Doug has committed countless hours to habitat restoration, watershed protection, and environmental education. His advocacy extends beyond Reston, raising awareness about local conservation issues at the county, state, and local levels. We are proud to honor Doug Britt as the 2024 Environmental Stewardship Volunteer of the Year and deeply appreciate his tireless efforts in creating a greener, healthier future in Reston.
Yeah, no, you need to move over, you got the wall instead of this background. All right. Bravo, Doug.
Okay. Stella and Ji-Woo Lee, an exceptional sibling duo, are this year's RA Youth Volunteers of the Year for their dedication to stream monitoring in Reston. Since 2022, they have actively contributed to protecting local waterways through their volunteer efforts. In 2023, they became certified to monitor independently and adopted their own site in Reston. Their work has been instrumental in assessing water quality, including collecting, documenting pH levels. Critical data that has helped RA identify and address contamination sources. They monitor their site twice a year and regularly participate in staff-led stream monitoring events, where they are often called upon to train other volunteers and lead stations. With their knowledge, reliability, and positive attitudes, Stella and Ji-Woo have become a trusted team for assisting staff and mentoring fellow volunteers. Their passion, dedication, and leadership serve as an inspiration to environmental advocates committing to protecting our waterways. We celebrate Stella and Ji-Woo's invaluable contribution and look forward to their continued impact in our community. Thank you. All right. Robin Deska has been one of our dedicated volunteers. She has been a valued participant in the Walker Nature Center annual summer and bird counts for many years, serving as a sector leader. Since 2017, Robin has contributed 1,271 volunteer hours, playing a key role in sharing the joy of birding with Reston residents. She monitors 5 bluebird boxes along Reston's bluebird trails and coordinates the birdwalk leaders for the monthly birdwalks in Reston. Robin also served as co-lead authors of the Birds chapter in the Reston Association State of the Environment Report, RASER. This year, she spent countless hours reviewing historical birding checklists to update the Birds of Reston checklist. Beyond her birding efforts, Robin helps Reston community members get their yards certified through the National Wildlife Federation's Backyard Habitat Program. Her dedication and passion for conservation continues to make a lasting impact on our community. Robin is out of the country, and she's looking forward to receiving her award when she comes back. The best for last. It is with my great honor that we recognize Julie Bond as the recipient of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. This prestigious award is a testament of her extraordinary contribution, unwavering dedication, and lasting impact on the community. Since 2008, Julie has been a devoted volunteer at the Walker Nature Center, lending her creativity, time, and passion to enhance the beauty and welcoming atmosphere at the center. Her artistic touch can be seen in the stunning floral arrangements she creates for the outdoor planters, the Nature House mantle, and the front desk. With meticulous care, she refreshes the planters 4 times a year and updates the mantle display 6 times annually, ensuring that each season is thoughtfully represented. She also contributes to community efforts, participating in garden cleanups, wildflower trail maintenance, and Earth Day planting at the Nature Center. Her commitment to the Walker Nature Center predates the opening of the Nature House, demonstrating her deeply rooted support and passion for its mission. Julie also secures funding for plants through the Reston Garden Club and generously supplements decoration, many from her own personal collection, bringing a unique and whimsical charm that delights both children and adults. She has become an integral part of the Walker Nature Center, and her tireless efforts have left an enduring mark on the center. We are incredibly proud to honor her with the Lifetime Achievement Award and extend our deepest gratitude for her unwavering dedication, creatively, and volunteer spirit.
Okay. We have a couple more to do, and we're going to invite everyone to stick around a little bit. And the socializing really is very important to us. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some special recognition at the end of what has been a pretty amazing year, but a pretty amazing run for some people that have given a pretty enormous amount of time to the community, to the association, and frankly to myself. The first of the two that I want to talk about tonight is Bob Petrine. And Bob deserves special recognition. He has absolutely been one of our most dedicated volunteers. He's been a participant in a number of community initiatives over the years, as you heard Tammy speak to as well. Bob served on the board of directors from 2020 to 24. He was treasurer for that entire time and then continued as treasurer for the last year as a non-elected board member treasurer, as Jalal had mentioned earlier. He's currently serving on RA's land use committee as well as the fiscal committee. He was on the land use working group from 2017 to 2017. He's been a tireless advocate for the community. On a personal level, I just want to speak to the impact that Bob has made on looking over the finances, and as a new CEO coming in sort of just post-COVID. At the time, we did not have a chief financial officer. It was something that I very much wanted when I got here. Bob spent a lot of time with me talking about RA's finances, historically, what has gone on, what I should be thinking about as a CEO. And that was both invaluable, and I can't even begin to express my gratitude, Bob. So we want to give you a special recognition award for all the service. Okay, last one for the evening. When we think about special recognition and we think about making a difference in the community, there's a lot of different factors that might go into that. We want to spend a little bit of time recognizing John Lovis for his dedication. And he does look surprised. I was told that it may be a surprise, but this is Reston, and how could this possibly stay a surprise? John has been at the Nature Center Halloween trick-or-treat, of course, the farmer's market, as he talked about. In 1998, he and Bob Simon, Virginia Delegate Ken Blum, Alfredo Melendez joined market founder-manager Lovis to inaugurate the farmer's market. What's very fascinating about that, the market originally started with only 12 stands and now boasts 34 farmers and vendors, including RA, and has several times been named the best in Nova. And if anyone wasn't familiar with the statistic, they get as many as 2,000 people on a typical Saturday morning. So please, everybody, they open 3 weeks from Saturday. Make sure and get down there. Agree with John, it's under better management now that Fran's in charge. So after 26 years of that volunteer work and a bunch of other things up at LARCA and around RA, we wanted to take a moment on behalf of the board and myself and the whole association to thank you for everything you've done for the community.
Wait for Fran.
No, wait, I'm just taking a picture.
Okay, the last of the remarks before we do the election results, I just want to personally thank the outgoing board members from a CEO perspective and all the tireless effort that you have given to the community. And Trevor Grywatch, of course, is not here tonight. He served as our vice president the last year, spent 2 years on the board. He and I had a chance to get to know each other quite a bit over the last 2 years. He and I traveled down to Richmond to work on the casino issue earlier this year. He was the board liaison for DRB, PRAC, and he was on the legal committee. One of the things that Trevor really brought to the table, which I think everyone here talks about, is we are a complete community. We have young families, we have people that are in midlife, and we have people that have lived here for a number of years. Trevor's ability to articulate family things and things that the board should be thinking about was a very welcome perspective, I know, amongst the entire board, and certainly for myself, as I am thinking about what the organization should be thinking about. We all greatly appreciated his counsel on many issues. He's certainly going to be missed. I'm not the only person in this room that tried to convince him to stay on a committee or be involved, but when you see him out and about, please thank him for his service. Now, Lori Dodd is stepping away. She's the North Point district, which is my district. I won't say best because that could probably get me in trouble, in this particular room. As many of you know, Lori is a strong advocate for lifeguards. She's a master gardener. She's had one of our garden plots for a very, very long time. One thing I want to talk about Lori is she's an enormous proponent of environmental stewardship and just the Reston ethos of what that means. And bringing that perspective to the board and thinking about invasive species removal or tree canopy or the things that go into creating this physical place. It may have happened in several different discussions, but it all adds up to Lori making a huge difference in the physicality of the community. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm going to say a few words about Irwin, even though he's still on the board. For those of you not super familiar with process, no one ran in the Lake Ann Tall Oaks district this year. That means it's Irwin's seat for as long as he wants or 1 year. So not knowing what that means, this might be my only chance to say something about Irwin, so I'm going to. Before Irwin got on the board, he was affectionately known as the 10th board member. He attended everything, knew everything, was around everything. That sort of institutional knowledge is not something that just disappears, in a day. Irwin always advocates in a way that helps promote what he believes is in the best interest for Reston. I want to focus on a couple of things. So Irwin is a leading environmental advocate in the community. He advocated for, and we've set up the Lake Equity Working Group, which is a group that is now looking at the nature of our lakes and how you gain access to those things. Of course, with his background, he's been on the legal committee. He's played key roles in the environmental committee, including work on the Razor report. His input has changed the way we think about a lot of things environmentally, including a lot of the things that we are looking at as staff now, operationally. When I first got here, Irwin said, "When are we buying an electric leaf blower?" I said, "Okay, when are we buying an electric leaf blower?" And we now own electric leaf blowers. So sometimes those things are not, you don't see in a video, but I need everybody to know Irwin brings that on all the different things. I just wanted to highlight the environmental stuff. So Irwin, if you end up staying the full year, you'll get a whole nother thing next year, but just in case, I wanted to make sure we thank you for your service. Okay, now we bring up Jalal to invite Katie Boswell up to do the election results.
All right, as many of you know, and I hope voted, we had 2 seats during the election process and 2 seats up. The winners of the election will join us on the RA board and will help us promote your priorities, making Reston what it is and keeping Reston the way it is, and fight another battle another day for the 2025-2026 session. At this point, I'd like to welcome Katie Boswell, Vice Chair, to represent the results of the 2025 Board of Directors election and to introduce our new board. Katie, all yours. Yep.
Good evening. My name is Katie Boswell, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Elections Committee. I'm here to announce the results of the 2025 Board of Directors elections this year, which were tabulated by IntelliScan, the association's third-party counting agent. Before I begin, I want to extend my thanks not only to the Reston Association staff and the members of the Elections Committee for the dedication and hard work throughout the process, but also for the many volunteers who took the time to help distribute door hangers this year, to promote the election, make sure people got out, make sure we got to that percentage that we needed to get to. And more than anything, just, that your commitment has been noted. One person that stood out from our committee more than anything was Ed Abbott, who went and knocked on, or at least put on, door hangers. And we wanted to make sure that we did a special recognition of Ed because he went out day after day putting In addition, I want to make sure that we also recognize Richard Chu, who is our fearless chair of the committee and kept us going to make sure that we got the election completed. The results of the 2025 Board of Directors election were tabulated, like I said, by IntelliScan. It's a third-party agent. So if we could put the slides up. This table shows the votes that were cast in each race. Once again, thank you to those who voted and participated. Now on to the results. So the winner of our at-large seat for a three-year term, with 4,468 votes is Matthew Mullinex. And the winner of the North Point District seat for a term of 3 years with 1,274 votes is Michael Lanza. Many, many congratulations to our new board members. We wish the new members joining the board that you'll step right in and do all the great things that are important for the leadership and the role of our Reston community, and thank those board members for continuing their service. If you want to know the full election results, you can go on the RA website to get them. They'll be posted at reston.org. I'd also like to introduce our 2025-2026 Board of Directors. So the members of the Reston Association 2025-2026 Board of Directors, listed in alphabetical order, not in order of importance. John Farrell, who is our at-large director. Erwin Flashman, Lake Ann Tall Oaks District Director. Travis Johnson, Hunters Woods Dogwood District Director. Jennifer Juszczyk, South Lakes District Director. Michael Lanza, North Point District Director. Jalal Mapar, at-large district. Matthew Mullenix, at-large district. Margaret Perry, our apartment owners representative. Izzy Santa, our at-large director. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you, Katie. And thank you very much to our elections committee, Richard Chu, Katie, and Ed Abbott, and so on. Just want to remind you that tomorrow night at its first board meeting, the RA will elect new officers. Those would be for president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. That's going to happen tomorrow. So we are now at the end of our annual meeting, and I just want to share some parting thoughts with you. My term expires tomorrow as the president of RA. It has been a pleasure, and I appreciate and thank you for your trust in me. Really have enjoyed all the comments and feedback and the member services and everything else. The only thing that I can share with you is please, please get involved. Volunteer for something, get on the board, run for something. Please come to the board meetings. Help us do the board meetings better. Give us feedback. Please send your inputs. It's been an honor for me to serve as the president. And as I said during my comments, I have done no harm. So Reston RA board is in a good shape. The leadership team is doing very well. Solid grounds, and I think 2025 and 2026 is going to be an even better year than 2024-25. With that, please socialize, connect, network, enjoy, drink, food, everything else. And thank you for coming.